The night was a shroud, swallowing the world in an impenetrable black. The only solace came from the feeble glow of my headlights, painting a frail path through the dense forest. The air was thick with an eerie stillness, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves in the wind. I gripped the wheel, knuckles pale in the dim light. This desolate road was a shortcut I'd never taken before, a decision born of impatience and a touch of recklessness. The radio crackled with static, an unreliable companion for this journey into the unknown. As I navigated the serpentine turns, a sense of unease settled in the pit of my stomach. The forest seemed to close in around me, ancient trees leaning over the road like hunched sentinels. The sensation of being watched gnawed at me, a prickling awareness that I was not alone. Minutes stretched into eternities, the monotony of the road a hypnotic lullaby. Then, through the inky blackness, a figure emerged in the distance. My heart quickened, a mixture of relief and apprehension flooding my veins. A hitchhiker? In this desolation? Drawing closer, I discerned the figure's silhouette. They were draped in tattered rags that hung like funeral drapery, the fabric dancing in the mournful wind. My headlights revealed little of their face, only shadowed hollows where eyes should have been. I hesitated, my instinct urging me to drive on, to leave them to the night. Yet the thought of abandonment gnawed at my conscience. What if they were stranded, lost like I was? I pulled over, the engine ticking in the sudden quiet. The figure approached, their footsteps deliberate, measured. They radiated a presence that pressed against my chest, stifling and cold. "Where are you headed?" I asked, my voice tinged with unease. Silence hung in the air, broken only by the rhythmic patter of rain on the roof. The stranger said nothing, only slid into the back seat. The stench that followed was suffocating, a blend of decay and rot. I choked back bile, suppressing my discomfort. The accelerator met the weight of my foot, propelling us forward. The road wound on, an endless ribbon through the oppressive forest. The air inside the car grew colder, a tangible chill that settled in my bones. A sound emanated from the back seat, low and guttural. It sent shivers through me, a primal fear clawing its way to the surface. I glanced in the rearview mirror, my heart pounding. The figure contorted, limbs twisted at unnatural angles, head lolling to the side. Panic surged, threatening to overwhelm reason. I swerved, struggling to maintain control. The headlights danced wildly, illuminating gnarled trees like skeletal fingers reaching from the shadows. The figure spoke, their voice a haunting, otherworldly rasp. The words were a garbled symphony, a chorus of madness that threatened to unravel my sanity. Dread settled in my stomach, heavy and nauseating. I fumbled for my phone, desperate to call for help. But when I looked down, the screen was shattered, lifeless. Panic surged anew, threatening to consume me. The road vanished, replaced by a yawning chasm of darkness. The car hurtled forward, suspended in an abyss, the air thick with oppressive silence. And then, with a jolt that rattled my bones, we were back on solid ground. The forest had changed, trees twisted and contorted, their branches reaching out like accusing fingers. The figure was gone. The back seat sat empty, a void of shadows. I was alone in this nightmarish landscape. I drove on, the world warping and shifting around me. Time lost meaning, stretching and contorting like the twisted trees. The road seemed to go on forever, an endless loop of torment and despair. And then, as abruptly as it had begun, it was over. I found myself on a familiar road, the moon hanging low in the sky. The forest had vanished, replaced by the comforting glow of distant houses. I pulled over, trembling and disoriented. My heart pounded each beat, a reminder of the horrors I'd witnessed. I stumbled from the car, legs unsteady beneath me. As I stood there, gasping for breath, I knew one thing for certain. I would never drive at night again. The road held terrors beyond imagination, a nightmarish realm where reality twisted into something unrecognizable. Though I had escaped, the memory of that night would haunt me forever, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked just beyond the edges of our reality. The road had shown me a glimpse of something beyond, a glimpse I would never forget.